Hey all, welcome back to SSX on Tour. I'm Insetic, and I have a big group for a big video. We've got Blank Tester.
Hey kids, how's it going?
Matt Rocks 101.
Hey, I'm Matt.
Toro.
Yeehaw.
And Zindictive.
Hey guys.
And we are here at the top of the mountain, the final events, the legendary race and legendary shred. We're going to be taking those on in this video, but first I'm going to prepare myself, get a couple more attributes, striking power to punch people down easier, and starting gate to, boost out of starting gate at the start of a race. Because otherwise I've got all my monster tricks and whatever, and so yeah. We're going to go to the legendary race first. Obviously, these are sort of the, creme de la creme events. They'll test you harder than before, but you're battle-scarred and whatever.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
You're as
Look how
dead and
battle-scarred
motionless
we
as
are.
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually what the goggles are for. They're hiding all your battle scars.
Mm-hmm. They're hiding all the pain.
Oh no, he looks like he's in pain when you zoom in close. I don't think we're doing a good job hiding that.
We gotta square off against the likes of Paris and Ronald.
Paris Hill,
Simon, whoever that is.
Yeah, who's Simon?
Yeah. That guy.
He's one of the
But
chipmunks.
he's just some punk aggro
He's one of the
dude.
chipmunks, yeah.
Yeah.
A crossover with Alvin and the Chipmunks in
Amazing.
here, where the movies even came
well,
out.
No, like I said, S-I-M-O-N, lame, bad, member of Alvin and the Chipmunks. P-S-Y-M-O-n, sick, cool.
Member of the Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Remember Alvin and the Chipmunks?
That's in his bad boy era.
That's why we know the four chipmunks: Alvin, Simon, Theodore, and Simon.
No,
Yeah.
it's the three chipmunks: Alvin, Simon, and Simon.
Oh.
Yeah, who's Theodore?
Thea who?
Yeah.
Theodore?
Yeah. Fuck
I
Theodore.
don't know that one. Someone that eats all the food, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like you remember him more than most
Is that
people.
a you?
No, okay.
It's out of the band from meth addiction.
My characterization is that I'm fat.
So yeah, like race from like the top of the mountain, not the actual top of the mountain, but one of the two tracks that are kind of top of the mountain down to the very bottom. So
There you go.
in maybe another game it would have been like, whoa, this is a really big event. Whereas, given what we've seen about the game, it's like, okay, it's maybe one more track than like the races we have been doing.
That's true.
But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, it's legend. It's a higher difficulty.
Holy shit.
You need to bring
You're
it.
falling to your death.
This
Yeah.
drop is still
You're
ridiculous.
just gonna die. There,
Yeah,
you're
the
dead.
dam and hot dam is like hot dam in between the sheets are really like set PC in a great way.
Yeah.
I really love.
There
I really
were very
love the events at
memorable
the top of the
ones,
mountain.
yeah. Oh man.
That just sort of reminds me of in Skate 2, there was the dam that you could
Yes.
drain.
Yeah.
I was actually
Yes.
just thinking about
I
Skate
would just
2.
keep jumping off of the dam and hoping that maybe I could get the angle right, that I could actually not just
Land.
fucking
You
die.
never found out the angle?
I did. I got the angle eventually, but I spent a lot of time jumping off that dam to my death.
Experimenting.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
of all, I'm pretty sure the last mission of the game is just to do a 540 down the dam.
Yeah.
It
Either
is.
that or it's the last mission of like that
Oh, shit.
particular
But I don't.
career part.
I'll be honest. I don't remember that mission. I barely did the missions in this
But also
game.
the last, I was thinking about Skate 2 because the last death race is also sort of like a top to bottom deal, which would have been great for them to bring back in Skate 3, except for the fact that they had like the separated map, which
Yeah.
Yep.
Can't go a single SSX game without discussing Skate 3 or Johnny Mosley.
There it is.
Well,
Or Skate or Johnny Mosley. It has to be one of the two.
Welcome to both.
Whenever I'm here, it's one of the two.
It's funny somehow we, oh god, I was about to word it in a really bad way, but just like funny that my online friends that I met through my series are play the same kind of games.
I know.
Or whatever.
How
It's like
strange, isn't
weird
it?
that I don't invite my non-existent friends who only play Paradox strategy games.
yeah.
oh my god,
Weird how your online
one of them
friends
on
who
this
you
video.
met from your Extreme Sports Let's Plays play a lot of Extreme Sports games, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
yeah.
Weird how they all have played those.
Yeah, me.
In Skate, was that where there's like the really big drainage ditch that you go down and then you can like jump over a bridge if you keep enough speed?
That's Skate 1.
That's
Yeah.
Skate 3.
Skate 2.
No, that's Skate 3.
Skate
Oh, is
3.
that? Oh, the
Okay,
Skate
so
1
you're
had a
actually
drainage
talking about
ditch
something
too.
else. I'm trying to remember the set pieces that I can remember from Skate, and like
I think
obviously I
Skate
remember like
2
the
was
Skate
like-
Park, but maybe not this dam.
It was like, I'm trying to remember.
The
was it
dam
a
was
tower
like, it's
thing?
like a dam. Like
Skate
you-
2 had
Yeah.
the dam, Skate 1 had the big drainage ditch thing, and Skate 3
Yeah.
had its own big drainage ditch as well.
It had the spillway.
Yeah.
And then they made their own little spillway in Skate 3, and it was also pretty cool, pretty set DC,
you know-
but...
It never occurred to me in Skate 1 how weird it is that there's a gigantic, massive spillway there, and there's just 1,000 skaters that are going down there.
Yeah.
And they're all going 1 billion miles per hour down that spillway, and they're wiping
Oh,
out, and they're
good.
flying through the air and dying.
That's a pretty sick shortcut, not gonna lie.
Oh, yeah, that's
That
really
is.
cool, yeah.
Yeah, also in these final videos, I'm gonna show off the shortcuts that, well, I should say I was intentionally saving for later, but the truth is I didn't check, like, the world record race videos or whatever until I'd already recorded most of the way through.
You know, actually,
So
I think that's a
it's
that's
a little bit of
good.
column A, a little column B.
I think that's pretty good that you did that, actually, you know.
That was a
Yeah,
Johnny
it gave us
Mosley shirt
something
right there.
real.
Like, on a personal level, that just seems more satisfying to hold off on, like, watching the optimal routes until, like,
Yeah.
you've given the game, like, your own, like, best effort.
I mean, these are the legend races,
Yeah.
so we have to give a legendary run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, what's weird about the Legend races, if you don't get a world record speed run on them, you don't win them. So, like, only a
don't
few
win,
people
yeah.
have ever
Yeah.
won them.
It actually has a persistent online connection.
Yeah, it's
it was
really
really
strange.
groundbreaking in that category.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like, only one person at a time has ever won these. It's really weird.
Yeah, they actually take away your gold medal if someone else wins it.
They made like a whole cutscene for it and everything. It's kind of strange.
I booted up the
And
game.
you see their character walk up to your character and go, like, hold out their hand, and your character goes, "No, please," and then they like rip it off your neck.
yeah,
and
they
hand
do.
it to them.
They punch
Holy
you in the
crap.
fucking face.
Dude, like, release another SSX game and have that kind of system, like how, like, Matt, you know, in a couple of the Dark Souls games, there's a boss where you can be, like, summoned as the boss if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
online.
Dark Souls 1 and, or Demon Souls and Dark Souls.
Old
3.
Monk and Demon King, and I think there's one in DS3.
Yeah,
like,
DS3,
do
yep.
that kind of like in let's just call it SSX 2022 or whatever. This
Yeah.
fictional game. Someone gets to the final event, and like, yeah, the game checks, sees if other people are online and like have beaten the event already, and summons them in as the racers to race against.
God.
Amazing!
Yeah, oh my god.
I mean, that just sounds like an elaborate ghost system.
No,
Sure,
they're,
yeah.
not, they're not ghosting. They're being summoned in to race.
Like what you guys are talking about, this wasn't, you didn't have to do this, you know, in single player, but like SSX 2012, when the events, you know, online play was first there was only one person who could have diamond rank in an event,
That's
and that
true.
was literally the best time or best score. Then it got patched after like a year or so to where it was like you could have multiple diamonds, but like, yeah, literally, like, only the person with the best score in an event had the diamond rank.
That's
For that event.
You know what? That is pretty cool, actually. I'm a fan of that.
yeah.
I can see why they changed it, but like, yeah, that's.
I mean,
pretty
you can have it for a little while, but I can see why they.
You
would
could,
change
I mean,
it
honestly,
for-
you could probably just make it like top 10, top 15, have diamond rank, and that's
Yeah,
it.
most like
Yeah.
live service games do that. Like I've been dabbling in a bit of FIFA Mobile recently, and that's how they do it. Like
Really?
in their seasons, like it's top 10 get the best rewards,
Oh,
and then top 10 to 25, then top 25 to 50, then top 50 to 100.
Yeah.
and then,
oh, so they've got
And then it
reward
goes by percentages
stratification
like that.
going all the way down. Yeah,
yeah.
Probably
Okay.
for the best.
I'm saying there's like gold medal is just some pre-built score or time or whatever, and then there's for the top 10 players in the world, there's some extra thing, and that's it. Like there's no extra stratification below that.
The only worry is the cheaters, you know?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, cheater.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like,
Always ruin the fun.
any game that has a leaderboard is gonna get like hacked.
You're gonna get cheaters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, did that happen to what's it called? That didn't happen to not Downhill Domination, Jesus. Spiritual
Descenders?
successor, Descenders. That didn't happen to Descenders, did it? Did that lead to
I think it did. I think it did a few times.
I know what happened to Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
all the top speedrun scores for each level are like 3 seconds.
Yeah, people cheated and hacked that.
I used to do that with old Flash games. You know?
Yep.
Like where they had the
Oh, really?
high score lists, you would just interrupt the the score sending message when you're reporting your score and then change the number.
Yep.
Some
I think we should put you on trial for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was an add-on for Firefox called Fire Sheep that lets you do that.
If there was any more proof that Kansas is a lawless hellscape, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, Blank Tester is the guy who sets all those, unreasonably high scores in Flash games.
Because
on
I can't
Congregate or
persecute you in
whatever.
Kansas.
Here's the thing, I would actually set my score to be unreasonably high, but not so unreasonably high that I would get caught. So there would be the people, I would always set mine to like second or third place, because first place was always taken by someone with like a very unreasonably high score. And they would get kicked off the board, and then I would just be left.
You play the
Nice.
smart game. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little technological cheating and a little, like, social
planning.
cheating.
Psychological.
What do they call that?
It's called a social experiment.
You know what I
Cheating at
mean.
Flash games.
Little
So
social
I mean,
engineering.
like-
Social engineering.
Yeah, social engineering, like hacking into a building by just, walking in and pretending you were like the IT called for a problem. Or
I've actually done that too.
oh,
Because I've worked a couple IT jobs. Well, I still have some of my shirts from those jobs. I just wander into like movie theater back rooms and stuff, just like whatever.
Yeah.
He's not there to steal anything. He's just there to hang out.
Yeah, I mean,
He
like
just
people
wants to
will
watch
be like,
the movie.
"Hey, are you supposed to be here?" I'm like, "Sorry, I'm IT," and they'll just like let me walk.
He's there to
through.
watch that Jonathan Frakes movie.
He's there
Yeah.
to watch Clock Stoppers.
Yeah, I go into the back room, swap out the reels, so all the theaters have clock stoppers.
we're building up to where Bob intentionally like breaks in or wanders into the dollar theater that
Yeah.
Magsagg's cursed movies in.
Is that you who was melting my fucking movies, Bob?
Yeah, you're gonna see. They're gonna see me coming
Is that
in
why I
with
could
like.
never finish the movie Clock Stoppers? I never got to see the
Yeah.
fucking ending to that movie.
They're gonna see me coming
Not
in with
that
like
I
a,
wanted to by the end of watching, but I
my
had seen.
IT bag in one hand and like a fire retardant suit in the other hand, and I'll be like, "Hold on, I'm IT, sorry," and I'll just walk into the back room, and then put on the fire retardant suit, light the place on fire, and leave.
With clock stoppers.
Yeah,
whole
with clock
time.
stoppers playing.
It's all coming together
It's all
now.
coming together, yeah.
Yeah.
Vov was the one behind it
By the way,
whole
just so
time.
it's
Oh
clear,
yeah, and he gives his name as Vov, so that way,
nobody will ever find me.
No, he gives his name as Bob so that people won't find
Ah, I
him.
see.
Well,
Because
that's
it's,
true.
it's
Yeah,
really
right.
involved.
Because I'm actually Vav. It's weird how like I went by Blank Test for a long time. Finally, we started going by Bob, and now the truth is finally revealed. Bob is not my legal name. My legal name is Vav.
Dang.
Yeah.
The
Damn.
story really has
just-
all come together in the final parts,
Yeah.
hasn't it? We went through an entire 3-act structure to get here.
We had to create our own story for this. I like how, yeah, back in the day, you guys had to, back in the day, like 5 years ago, like you guys had to
Back in
make
the
your
day,
own,
yeah.
yeah, you had to make your own stories for the really boring games to get through them, and now we're doing that here.
I don't know if we
Fucking
had to, but
aesthetic
we
lore
did.
is so
Remember
deep.
whenever World Snowboarding, we had the Johnny Mosley arc and everything in it at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, the lore was really deep. Yeah.
Never.
And Freestyle Metal X, you created like a whole plot with like Johnny Demonic killing your character's father.
To be fair, that made the game make more sense.
Yeah,
It did.
it wasn't that Freestyle Metal X was boring. Maybe back in the day it was, but that's another one where I have like, with it in context of the 100 other extreme sports games that came out, I have better appreciation for how weird it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, we can't forget about the ultimate story of Rick McCrank.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rick McCrank was in the Trans World Snowboarding one.
He
Exactly.
was in the Transworld skateboarding at least.
Yeah.
No,
no,
you're
no, he
thinking
was
of
in the
Evolution.
story. we
Yeah, it's
had.
Evolution.
Evolution, yeah, he was in Evolution.
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Konami's 2 games, and then it is. Okay. Yeah, I just want to say because I didn't get to say when we were talking about like the Extreme Sports Online things before that like Extreme Sports games that are online can have some really cool achievements. Like in Pure, one of the achievements, if you remember Pure, you kind of ranked up across your playthrough by getting better engines, better engine classes, like from D to C to B to A, and you were just better, like way better when you went from one to the other. One of the achievements was to win an online match against A-ranked players with a D-ranked vehicle.
Oh, dear.
And like I could do that because it like tricking, the show off in that game. Like I was so good at it, I could do that. Get enough points with my D-class vehicle. to beat people with A. But all right, that was the legend race. Over to the other peak, kind of to do
Now,
the
this
legend
is the one I
slope
want to
style.
see.
Yeah,
This is the one I'm pumped for.
You're peaking right now.
I peaked before, and I'll peak again.
Yeah, and I'll just mention, I'll go for first place. I won't try to go for like the high score, platinum score, because it's going to be like a 1 million plus point difference. Look, you've got to get 2.1 million. You could get over 3.3 mil if you wanted.
They zoomed in on his eyes so hard that you
Fuck
could
that.
actually see them.
It's a shame they don't have
There's,
like super specific 3.3 mil and 35 point.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It is kind of funny that we like bag on Johnny Mosley a bit for having such specific point totals, but then like this game has such specific point totals.
I really
Yeah.
wonder how those
I don't know. It's just kind of
point totals
funnier
were
with
created.
everything else in Johnny
I
Mosley
think
to get
the
hit with
reason
that.
why it's funny with Johnny Mosley is because like the point totals don't even seem close to each other.
Yeah.
Like, and they don't seem to correspond to the skills of the person that are supposedly got that score. Like it's all a random number generator. But
And
like
also-
Looks like
with
yeah.
this game, I get the vibe that maybe they have something more like, okay, Mac needs to generate a score between this number and this number. As opposed to Johnny Mosley, I get the vibe that it's like, okay, you need to generate a number between 1,000 and 45 million points. Anything. Any number between those two.
And you know what I love about them? They're really oddly specific, but they're always like really close to a round number, but they're never that number. It's
Yeah,
like
I'm pretty.
it's
It's
like
like
49,000 and 49 0. It's like, why not just 50,000? It's really close
no,
to
well, because-
50,000.
Because they generated 50,000 and then subtract a random, like, three-digit number from it, and that's
what
it.
is. I think they
Yeah.
that's like the top one is the highest one, and then they just subtracted a random amount from whatever the highest number was.
Yeah.
Which is why they're
Yeah.
always really close to like a nice even round number, but they're never a nice even round number. They're always
Yeah.
so weird.
Also, let's be real here. We don't pay attention to the scores that much with Johnny Mosley when Johnny Mosley has so much more going on afterwards.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the
that's
scores are
true.
still funny to me.
Yeah.
I always wonder forever how people come up with these scores in any of these games. If they're like generated or if they play tested.
I think they're generated.
So yeah, they're almost certainly generated. My guess would be they're generated. If I were doing it, I would probably overcomplicate it by doing something like basing it exactly on how many stats the person has, or like where they have their stats placed. Oh my god, Jesus!
You felt
My
You know,
God.
and like try to like generate a score that's higher based on those things. But like realistically, you don't have to do that. You could just like. I mean, honestly, you could just fucking choose the order that the names appear in and then generate some random numbers.
Yeah.
Also, I think part of the strangeness with the Johnny Mosley thing is that at least so neither of the games you see people participating in the slopestyle events. But the thing is that at least in the SSX games and other games like this, when you're racing, like you see the other characters, and that at least gives the illusion that they're like
They're good.
Character. Not even
Yeah.
that, just that they exist. Like
Yeah.
in Johnny Mosley, it's just so blatantly just a random number generator attached to a
Right.
name.
Okay.
And like it's the random number generated attached to a name, and none of the characters' stats are factored in at all. So sometimes Skier X isn't on the board, and other times he's number 1 or 2 or 3, and it's like
Or 5.
he was having a bad day, I guess. Like he's not that good. Like if he's really supposed to be this intimidating, mysterious figure who's really good at skiing, you would think he would always be getting first or second.
He got downgraded to Skier Y.
Sometimes he's skier Z.
So like, okay, like in the previous videos, the ones that came before this, like it was just kind of rough across the board. I'll say like, yeah, in these it definitely like flows and such more. I don't know. Even though I have to get like hella points, I didn't feel as like I don't know out of
Pressured?
my league or that I was having a bad time. So like I don't know. Like hopefully we can watch this and like. I don't know.
Say
just
something
feel
good about
better-
the game.
Feel better about it. Feel better about it. Because it's definitely like there's an end in sight sort of thing.
Well, when you say
need to
it
beat
flows
this.
better, what do you mean by it?
I don't know. Well,
Like the levels?
kind of like our commentary and mood as well. Sort
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
Like, I don't
yeah.
know. Just like watching back, like the ones like at the end of Pro Master, it was like a night as dark as right before the dawn kind of thing. I don't know, whatever. I just, you know, like if
they
you want
really
to watch
need
this
to
and
clean this
see
shit up.
more,
I'll be honest. Like on this level, they got all these towers falling over and shit. Like they should clean this shit up.
How can
What
they
if
when
this
there's
shit's on
snowboarders
purpose,
coming
though?
down here every 5 seconds?
Like people are still doing their. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you're not supposed to be here.
Maybe Ski Patrol should help out instead of just chasing random people down the mountain.
Yeah.
I mean, they put Toyota here, so I mean,
Yeah,
Toyota wanted to
doesn't mind.
sponsor that fucking wrecked house.
yeah.
They're the ones who destroyed it.
yeah.
John
Drove the
Toyota
car
he
right
did it
into it.
himself.
John Toyota called in an airstrike on the house. and then put up
Got
his
that sort
sign.
of power.
It makes
Never
the
underestimate
advertising
John
space
Toyota.
cheaper.
Yeah, lower the property costs so
He's
that
almost as
the advertising.
he's almost as powerful as Phil Ferrari, you know.
The ranger had to call up the people that lived in that house and tell them to get the fuck out of there. You're getting bombed.
Yeah, you've got about 45 seconds.
The ranger
to leave
wasn't
your
even
home.
in on it. He was just like he was warning them. He
Yeah,
saw
he just heard the planes
Dude,
coming.
you gotta get out
He
of
saw
here,
the
dude.
planes coming. He was like, "Oh shit!"
You saw the planes
They
coming
said
in.
they
They
would
had
do it,
Toyota on
and
it. It
they
was
did.
like, oh shit, they're coming.
Now is that negative over on the far left? That's how much you have left, right?
Yeah.
I believe, yeah, that's how far back.
Right. That's my points differential
That's what I
to,
thought
you
it
know,
was.
what is first place.
That's kind of
place, okay.
cool. I actually like that. I wish more games.
I mean,
had
it's
that.
helpful. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice. Like,
me know how much
obviously,
I got
like it
left.
seems a little daunting to be like a million points behind, but like, I mean, if you're planning on getting first, you were gonna have to get that many points anyway. So
Yeah.
And
So
also,
just buck up and do it.
they put the percentage down the track you are right below it, so you can do a little bit
Oh,
of math
that
in
is
your
helpful.
head.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I'm halfway
Am
down
I
the
on-
track, and I've cut into about 60% of the lead that I have to, so I'm actually on pretty good pace.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I like
actually,
that.
that
That's
is
really
helpful.
good. Yeah.
I didn't notice that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Great
Back on
landing.
So is
a
the
back
back
plant.
landing like an advanced technique, or?
Actually,
They call that doing Johnny
that's
Mosley.
a known technique called the back plant.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
you sacrifice one of your vertebrae to
Yeah.
score the points.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like right before you land, you like flex your shoulders or whatever, so you know
To catch
you do
on
that
muscle,
thing.
bounce, and then get back
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
This
Yeah.
is why it's the legend one, because only the legend tricks come into play
Well,
here.
exactly, the legendary technique of crunching on your back for
Yeah. It's effective.
The
It
hernia
works.
machine.
Whew, that was a close one.
Is it a
Yeah.
hockey rink?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think
It's
so.
an ice rink.
Yeah, a little
yeah.
ice hockey thing.
Yeah.
Oh. That's cool.
That's really fucking cool.
I like that they can have
Damn.
those sort of like set pieces in this sort of thing.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel like
pretty
a lot
really-
of, I feel like a lot of snow games are kind of dull visually because there's snow and there's not a whole lot you can do going down a mountain.
Yeah.
But I always appreciate the visual flair of the SSX set pieces.
Yeah, I mean that's its own kind of discussion. Do you mean other snow games from like around this time period?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
and
I don't know.
and
I
just
think
kind of
games,
in general.
more modern games are guiltier of it because they're trying to
Yeah.
be a little more realistic, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are trying to do more simulation.
I'm thinking of like
style
Sean
thing.
Palmer.
Yeah, a lot of those also like they hadn't. I don't know if it's like they hadn't yet done blah blah blah, or if it was more like they were kind of going for like trying to map real world locations and, or at least something
Yeah.
adjacent to a real world location.
But again, like you know, like back in the day, even if a track or level or area feels more boring, every part of it was still like really designed.
Oh yeah.
You know, with a good vision and such. I mean, you look at again. Like,
I mean
like Sean
purely from
Palmer
a visual standpoint is what I mean, not necessarily
Yeah.
a layout
Yeah.
standpoint, but from like a cool set pieces. I feel like it's harder to make those out of just snow. There's less you can implement in there, you know,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
it has to be snowy.
the snow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I always appreciate the sort of stuff that the SSX series did visually. With its-
All right,
I might as well shout out Bandit Gameplays again because he's recently gone to SSX now. He's doing
Oh, is he really?
2013, and it's been a while since I've actually experienced 2013. So it's like I'm gonna watch this, and I did, and I was like, at the beginning, it was like, why did I did I not like this? This seems fine. And then I go through more of the levels, and it started looking a lot like the same because it tried to be more realistic and such, and was like, oh, that's why.
You're getting burned out on.
Yeah,
Burned out on
sort of thing,
realism.
I've done quite a lot of, well, not quite a lot of skiing, but I've done skied multiple times, and I'm gonna be honest, like, I don't feel like video games can ever really capture the experience of skiing as well as actually doing it.
I feel that way for a lot of
so
sports.
sometimes I feel like all the super realistic ski and snow games sort of, and I don't mean this is a jab against anyone who likes simulation and stuff, but to me it's like, this isn't as fun as doing it in real life, and so I feel like I get less out of it than I do out of, like, more arcadey style things.
Yeah.
Doing it in real life is just more fun than experiencing it in the game, unless it's like super out there like SSX. I can't do any of that in real life.
Yeah. And I mean, like, if your control scheme is...
Turo, go next.
Yeah, so like, part of that is the inherent arcadiness of being able to stop when you want to.
Yeah.
Because man, is it hard. Man, is it hard to be able to implement a system where you aren't allowed to stop where you want to and not have it be incredibly frustrating.
Oh, it's hard, dude.
Like, I mean, I would say that I actively enjoy both Mark McMorris Infinite Air and the snowboard game. Those, which are two, like, you know, pretty realistic simulator snowboarding games.
Yeah.
And man, if it still isn't frustrating to just keep spinning and like they
Not
give you
slow
like
down.
they do of course implement, like, you know, if you're tucked in you spin faster, if you open your body up you spin slower.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
like it's still like I land like 30% of my flips in Mark McMorris. Like
Yeah.
I land on my back just as much as I do my feet. Yeah.
I would say when it comes to simulator games that you can have a really good, like, graphical style with your simulation, and you can have a really good control scheme with it too that feels sort of real and such. But you kind of need that extra oomph to have it be an enjoyable game as well. Otherwise, it can sort of start feeling like a tech demo more in the game.
Yeah.
And
I agree
I would
with that.
say a game that I feel like does this good is one we mentioned beforehand, Descenders, where I feel like it's good at simulating that sort of mountain bike sort of feel of going downhill, you know, doing tricks downhill and such, but it's got that extra bit of, like, you know, doing challenges and going through different kinds of hills and such, and really feeling different each time and unique as well. That makes it an enjoyable game as well as a pretty good simulator game. So,
and I think that's sort of the challenge of snow type stuff, because like a bike I can ride that on multiple different terrains, but snowboarding I can only go on the snow, so I feel like it's a lot more challenging to make simulationist environments.
Sorry, I had to get that in.
More interesting.
I think part of that, though, I mean, at the end of the day, like, when you're holding a controller, you are fundamentally doing something very different than riding a set of skis or riding a snowboard or whatever. So, like, in order for a game to be fun, it can't make you feel... Like, it's never going to be able to make you feel like you're skiing without... You know, I don't even know how you would do that. I mean, I suppose there may be some form of VR in the future that engages your senses even more thoroughly. I don't know, but, like, without doing that, it's not going to make you feel exactly how you feel. So it has to do something else. It has to replace the feeling that you're skiing with some other thing that is equally cool. Which is why the arcadey games have an easier time being fun, because the arcadiness is just a replacement for a realistic appreciation of snowboarding.
I want to say what I was saying. I didn't mean it as a criticism necessarily of simulation and stuff. I was just saying from a visual standpoint, I appreciate these. The simulations ones usually have more boring environments because they're trying to be close to realistic.
They're trying to be more realistic,
and that's I think difficult to be as fun, you know, looking or as interesting as these types of games.
That's a monster ending.
That was a great ending.
That's what I mean. I didn't mean that as a criticism of simulationist games or anything, in case anyone wants to say Matt doesn't like simulation snow games. I do. It's just their environments are usually not as interesting to look at, because it's harder to make mountains of snow more interesting, because it's always the same environment, basically, with a different coat of paint.
Right.
So are we
definitely.
Legends now?
So yeah, we did both of them, and we're at the top. The
hell
chart.
yeah.
Hype. But we're not done. You thought we were done? Fuck you. This is SSX on tour. We're never done.
Oh my god.
No,
What?
actually, okay. So after those two events, now there's the actual final legendary event where you start at the peak. So yeah, one more event in this video, and since we've got the cash for it, yeah, let's go finally get the ultimate board.
Oh fuck
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
The final combo board, sort of a really cool, sort of semi-Easter egg. I mean, it's out in the open, but the Mercury City board.
Oh, nice.
Mercury City, a shout out to the SSX fan site from way back in the day.
Ah,
I also
That's
like
cool.
that they had on there they had two boards dedicated to two really great games, Division and Anthem. Really appreciate those gaming
Right.
shout-outs from the future.
Yeah. I mean,
They actually
Damn.
named those games after those boards in this game.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
yeah. But we got the
4-1.
best board. We've got a whole bunch of attributes.
Excuse me, hold on.
We're
We've got the
ready.
best board and the best player.
Yes. So here we go. So, it's all up to you to start it. So, breathe in, pick yourself up, and go.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's a race from the peak, even though you don't actually start at the very top of the peak.
Yeah.
It's, all the way down to the bottom. And, you're gonna see the Mercury City board, full stats and everything. This is going to be insane. You're tricking as fast and as hard as you can, and especially when you get, full boost and you can really boost for a good stretch. You're racing super, super fast. This, obviously is what you were really building up towards. I would say yes, definitely buy the Mercury City board for this event, especially since the previous two events gave you millions of dollars, so you could afford it.
Billions of fans and millions of dollars.
Now, yeah. I mean, you'll just see, yeah.
Wow.
We're gonna become legends.
You're flying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're Newman.
You gotta go fast. You gotta be like
You're
something.
Newman like Gary Newman.
I guess do we want to continue what we were talking about before?
Yeah, I was-
Because I have a little bit. Actually, Turo, you've been getting talked over for minutes straight, so go ahead.
And I will continue.
So one of the strange, I guess not really all that strange. I'm hoping it'll make sense. But one of the things that really kind of sells realism to me is vibration. Yeah, this is a really cool shot.
That's very, very cool.
It's
Yeah.
good.
Unfortunately, the coolest part of the half pipes in this game is when you ignore the ramps and just go.
That's
straight
true.
through them. Yeah.
But even half pipe works. The one in compilation is why is there so much shit you can come down on when you never knew you would. But there, it's clear.
Clear skies. and
Go
just
ahead,
Clear
Turo.
tube.
Yeah, but so something that the snowboard game does really well, as well as the NHL games, is obviously you can't translate carving on a snowboard and ice skating to holding a controller in your hands and moving yourself with your thumbs. But for some reason, really good vibration effects really sort of sell the momentum of digging your feet in and carving.
yeah. I agree with that.
It really feels analogous to how it works with your legs,
Yeah.
You really feel the snow pushing back against you.
It's funny you say that. I've been watching recently. I've been watching a channel called Skill Up, and he does game reviews and talks about other stuff. But what I like about his channel is that he's not trying to make himself an entertainer or make himself the center of attention. He's just talking about the games or the concepts he wants to talk about. And one of the things he brought up was that there's a game that comes free with the PS5, I think, which is sort of a tech demo to show off all the things that they did to make the PS5 better, but also how they made the PS5's controller better. And one of the things he points out is that the haptic feedback in the PS5 controller has different kinds of vibration to provide different sensations. And so, like, when you're walking around in this game, I don't remember what the game's called, but when you're walking around in this free game that comes with the console, you can feel the different terrain that your character's walking around because the vibration is different.
Oh.
You know, in the controller. And, like, that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
You know, and his point is really like there were a bunch of different next generation consoles, but only one of them came with a next generation controller. You know, and there was only one game he has played so far, including the games he's paid for, that has really taken advantage of all the features of that controller.
So what I need to do is make a PS5 game that uses that controller properly.
Yeah, you know, Sony does do that. They do try a lot of new things with their controllers.
And their
sometimes
hardware,
it doesn't work, 6-axis, da-da-da, but like PS4 controller, you know, you had the touchpad thing, which mostly just turned into a giant start button, but still, they tried.
And like the PlayStation Vita, I mean, remember, like the Vita itself was just covered in crazy tech.
I love the Vita.
And then nobody bought the Vita at all.
And also, a lot of it wasn't really useful.
I'll
Such
also
as the
say
back
that the PlayStation Motion, another peripheral they released, was really good. I would say it's actually better than the Wii and such, in fact, in how the
you mean the moves?
PlayStation Move,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then PlayStation had a VR as well, which was interesting.
I've been meaning
I mean, the
to-
VR actually does work really well.
Yeah.
I kind of want to get a PlayStation Move for like, but the problem is I want it for one game or like one series of games. That's MLB The Show, which is like their simulation baseball series on the PS3, had Move support.
Really?
And like, it was like,
it good?
imagine. That's the thing. I don't know. I basically haven't seen any footage of it except for the advertisements, where it's like a 2-minute long advertisement of someone just playing the game with the Move. But like, it's Wii Sports Baseball, but in a simulation baseball game.
Yeah, that's really odd. I wonder how good that is.
But the problem with that is that would be the only thing I would buy it for, and it's still because they still used it with the PS4 a little bit. It's still like $70 for the camera and the controller. And but it seems really cool.
Honestly, it wouldn't even surprise me if they continue to use it for the PS5, because it was a very solid system.
Yeah. I still gotta get a PS4. I think they're cheaper now, aren't they?
They are a little cheaper
They
now.
used to be. I could probably get one because I really want to play. I really want to play Bloodborne.
Like, I think the Move started with the PS3, and then they were able to make it compatible with the PS4. So I'm pretty sure, considering PS5 can play PS4 and shit, PS5 should work with the Move as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just really want to
I sure
play
hope so.
Bloodborne, and they're never porting Bloodborne to PC. It's never happening.
They're not going to?
I don't know. It's just,
I mean,
I've been waiting
I guess
for
if they
so
were
long.
going to, they would have.
I've been
probably.
waiting.
They're
Every
working
other
on it.
PS4 game's on PC now except Bloodborne. I'm gonna cry.
You gonna piss your pants?
I'm gonna
Maybe
piss my
even
pants,
shit
but I'm
shots?
gonna come.
Oh, man.
You're not gonna shit because you already did that.
No, I took a shit
Yeah.
earlier. My yeah.
Well, there you
I do
go.
There you go.
I do have to say that, like, with this board, like, at maximum speed, when you get up to top speed and such, this is finally, like, so fast that I felt too old. Like,
Oh my god.
You playing
I mean, this is,
Warzone?
like, what you, like, you know, came for. I mean, it's... I don't know, I keep... I know
great.
I'm romanticizing it, but that's just, you know, to, you know, make the commentary larger than life or whatever, but, like, you know, you start out with zeros and everything, and it's completely fucking sucks, and again, it's something where, like, yeah, boards should be less expensive and such, but you finally get up here to maxes and everything, and, like, this is more than you could do in any previous game.
That's true.
Faster
Yeah.
than you could go, fast, you know, spin faster than you could before.
Yeah, so it's like the lows are a little lower than in previous games, but the highs are really fucking high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although it only really has the one high at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really
Like,
good high.
I don't
though.
know. I mean, there's
Just-
still great moments throughout the game with the cool set pieces.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
just because we're finally here and we have everything and we have the best equipment or whatever, like, let's not forget how long it took to get here, how many events we had to do, da-da-da, but, like, we can finally cut loose to the biggest amount. Like,
Yeah.
this is the best version of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you have preferred if most of the game was like this instead of only the very end?
I mean, again, there's things they could have done to smoothen out how much of a battle it was. You know, like, what if you never even had the attributes to get in the first place? You just had them. You know, you were just you didn't crumble like a paper bag until you got toughness. You were just that tough, from the start. Those kind of things.
SSX on tour is the Escape from Tarkov of snowboarding games.
Now let me ask you this: how would you feel if you started the game and they threw you directly into this competition, this level with like the best board and all the stats, maximum everything, and then just before you hit the finish line, it says, "You're probably wondering how I got here," and then it rewinds you all the way back to garbage.
You race to a certain point, and then it just gameplay stops, and you get a cutscene of your guy taking a shortcut, going down a road, and a fucking truck with its headlights barrels at you, and it freezes. And
I like the idea of the game stopping and going, "I bet you're probably wondering how I got here." Better than him dying.
I'm now thinking of games that actually sort of did that.
I like that because it implies that no matter what you do in the game, you're gonna get back to this point because this is how you got here. So
eventually, you get to the final competition.
Again.
I think that kind of idea. Well, we're being goofy about it, but just think about it. That kind of idea works a lot better in other genres than this one because a player who has no idea what they're doing, even with all of this stuff. It's not going to be a great experience, for them. Whereas, in an FPS or another game where it's just you have all your equipment, it's you can still take the game slowly at the start and learn the controls and shit.
Imagine in another FPS game like Call of Duty if it started out at the very end of the game and had a record scratch and Captain Price was like, "You're probably wondering how I got here." You're about to kill General Shepard, and it's just
it's
record
slow motion. You're about to shoot some terrorist guy or whatever. That it's you're probably wondering how I got here.
I hate to say it, but it's back to the beginning. Games do this,
and the guy you were shooting at the end of the game is now training you in the obstacle course, and you're like, "How do we get to this
ending?"
And
I'm you know what? Actually, I am wondering how we got here. I am actually really wondering how we got here.
Obviously, a game with a plot that has twists like that, where you're playing along with something that's going to be really weird. But I was watching the Metro series, and I mean that starts with an encounter that happened. Metro 2033 starts with an encounter that happens 80% of the way through the game.
Yeah.
And a demon's barreling down on you, and then when you finally get there, the demon doesn't kill you, and the fight keeps going.
I just love the idea of the game just stopping and having that 90 scratch.
The difference between a game like Call of Duty or a game like Metro doing that is because the skill ceiling for Metro or Call of Duty is actually fairly low, right?
Single player especially.
Where you start, you have some basic understanding of how to play a video game, and you're most of the way there learning the single player skills you need.
Yeah, I mean, Call of Duty,
in a
you
game like
point
this,
and you shoot, and you figured out the entire game now. You never have to do anything else.
A game like this has a very high skill ceiling.
Yeah.
And even moderate players can sometimes just level off as far as their skill. So the idea that they would start you in the final event that you may not ever get to, and then you have to play well enough that it asks you might be wondering how I got here, even though there's high-level competition bearing down on you.
Yeah.
You're gonna fucking lose this introductory thing and go, "Oh, I feel like shit," and then it throws you back, and you're even worse.
Fucking hell. No, I'm gonna make a sports game like that now. I'm gonna do that now.
Shit.
I'm gonna develop an entire physics engine.
What am I
for
fucking doing?
Game.
The game hasn't taught me anything. I don't know how to play this.
Just so I can
And then it's you're probably wondering how I got here. It's how I got
The
where?
absolute balls needed.
Sort of to kind of make it slightly more serious, what if they did this, but that scene was a tutorial sequence, pretty much?
I can kind of see that too.
You could maybe do that. I feel like it would be annoying to have the tutorial and then immediately follow it up with, "You're probably wondering how I got..." That's two different sorts of communicating to the player that contradict each other.
That's the kind of thing where it's imagine you're reading a story and a scene happens and then it's, 2 hours later and the first line is "Oh man, how did I get in this situation 30 minutes before?" And you're like, "What?" Bob and I have seen that in stories, and it sucked. But okay, here's the "Where are they now" that you were talking about. Yeah, at the end of it, you get a cheeky little "Where are they now" for all the pro characters.
About unknown.
Yeah.
And yeah,
So
Tyson.
Simon went back in time. Tyson came.
Did we ever meet Tyson?
Yeah, we met everyone except Kaori, actually.
No, I think we
just-
did meet Kaori.
No,
There
you would have
she is.
known because she got the short end of the stick.
Yeah,
oh my
she
God.
did.
All they needed to do was just have a cute Japanese girl say cute things, and instead, like in this game for her lines, it's like the worst half-assed Japanese American accent. I'm glad you didn't meet her.
Yeah, I'm glad
We're better off.
But like, I don't know, look at this stuff. Laugh along with the corny jokes or ideas or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
All I'm getting from this is that Daft Punk is playing at James Murphy's house, and you know what?
An extreme
wish I was
yoga
there.
video game of EA.
I feel like that's a real thing that it probably was in production at some time.
I mean, they did have EA Active,
I mean, they did
Yeah.
have
which was that Wii game.
they did have the Wii Fit.
A lot of Canada going on here.
Did
Yeah.
it say that Mac worked for Tyson?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is.
And Zoe became mayor of Big Mountain.
So he became a subordinate to another character in this game.
Elise scaled enemy and moved to Mexico.
Yes.
Bought Canada from Tyson. Okay, so Tyson apparently is like the centerpiece of the cast now.
Yeah.
Even though
A lot of people have mentioned Tyson in I don't know.
apparently Tyson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moved back to Australia. Oh, he's an Australian. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good results. Oh, I like this.
Is that a
Yeti,
photograph?
The
yeah,
Yeti.
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 It's the Yeti.
Okay.
Mitch Kupski.
From the band
Okay.
called Unit Carnage. Oh, there's the Yeti.
Yeah.
There's the Yeti.
Did you notice anyone missing? Probably not, because again, you barely meet anyone in this game, but of all the characters to have been in all 3 previous games, this game doesn't have Moby for some reason.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Moby's not in on tour. He comes back in Blur. It's just kind of a funny thing. But alright, all the hours of playing, and we didn't even do like a third of the shreds or half of the competitions.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's so many more. But I did get all the boasts across them.
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna like show off like my stats and such, because yeah, it tracks your career stats, so you can look and
The
see.
Yeti Dog Food Company.
Yep.
Real quick, I just want to say, if you're looking at these stats, people watching the video, and you see medals won 20 out of 49, get one more medal than that, and you're better than in setting.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
it.
That's
well,
all it takes.
that's
for
all it
you
takes
to
be
the SSX
better.
champion.
You know, actually, I mean, you look at this, you're like, I got to the end of the game, right? But you see that there's still like so much more you could have done, and you're like, oh my god, I didn't even play a third of this fucking game. Like, who the hell wants to do the rest of that? Me.
What?
Because there's some special stuff as like the very final shreds, and
Are you
obviously
kidding?
something you
Oh.
unlock for doing 100%.
Oh, okay.
So I
boy.
did everything.
Oh,
my God.
And yeah, that'll be the next video, like the final like legendary shreds, and seeing what you get for getting a 100% complete save file.
Nice.
Presenting it.
Yeah,
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you just kind of grind it out, a few hours each day.
Yeah, I mean, if you're enjoying the game, then
Yeah, a few hours each day like a job.
And like you have the Mercury City board.
I mean,
so
it's like
yeah.
it's
That's
like
true.
saying like
MMO,
of all the stuff, the worst event is the one in Mind the Gap where you have to like get shit. You only have like 8 seconds of air time, and you need to stay on the ground more than that, because like it rides you through like 2.5 courses where you just have to slowly stay on the ground and try to avoid hitting any dips and whatever. And otherwise, it's just, race better, trick better, knock ski patrol or whatever down,
More of
just
the
do
same,
all the
for
shreds
better
and
or
whatever.
worse.
But yeah, okay. One more like video of the content that's not a bonus video here, where we'll do the legendary shreds and get 100% next time on SSX on Tour.